Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a new topic that is called input in Java. Basically, input in Java is the one of the type of methods where we can take input from the user by many ways. But whenever we talk about the input and the data, it should be interactive. So here we are going to discuss about how we take the data from the user with the help of scanner class. Mainly in ISC board, there are so many methods to take input in Java, but the major one is we are having two types of method. One is a scanner class, other one is buffer reader. But in this session, we are going to discuss about how we take input in a scanner class. Now, first and foremost, we must understand the concept of input in Java. Here, we can simply understand why we require data from the user. So, firstly, we discuss the types of input in that. The process of providing data or value. Data means particular kind of value of variables used in the program during the execution from input device. That is the important over here. Although when we are not aware about taking input from the user, we were using the predefined methods. But in Java, we are having a predefined class which help us to take input from the user. That means here the user can simply enter their values with the help of keyboard. Alright, so that is called input in Java or data input. Data input means any kind of information which is required to perform the operation or any kind of logic, that is called data input. To perform this task, we have a following three methods. One is input using initialization. What exactly is initialization? That is, initialization means predefined values. Suppose I want to calculate the area of rectangle. So what are the things have been required for that? We know the formula. What is the formula over here? That is, we know the formula of calculating the area of rectangle, that is L into B, so called length into breadth. So for here we can simply assign a particular value to the L variable. If I suppose I have been taken an integer value, so I have been mentioned 20 over here. Similarly, I assign a particular value to the B, that is used for the breadth, that is 10. Now this is called input using initialization. That means we are simply initializing a variables over here, which is also mentioned to providing data or values of the variables. Alright, that's why this method is connected by, we can simply say the predefined method comes under the using initialization. Later, there are some changes has been made and we have a next method that is called using method and function. So before discussing about the method and function input base, we must understand what is the method. Method and the functions are the set of codes which is used to create a particular kind of objects or a particular kind of source code that is having some kind of functionality. Suppose we want to add two values. So what we can simply do, if we go with the initialization, we simply take int a equals to 5, int b equals to 6, and we simply perform the operation int s equals to a plus b. That is the part of initialization. But what is the role of method in that? For that we create a method. How we create a method? We simply take void add and we pass two argument because we are adding two numbers. If we are adding or performing over a 3 variable, we pass the 3 variables. So argument list can be passed over here. I'll pass a separated by comma int b. So two variable can be passed here and we take one more variable to store the result of it. So I'll mention a plus b and then at the end with the help of system.out.println we print the result. S can be printed over here. That's it. This is the entire code. Here we are passing the parameters value. These are the parameter, whatever the values has been passed inside here just after the class, method name, that is called the parameters or argument list. Alright, so this is the method to being simply used by after the initializing method. Now the next is, if we simply want use a scanner class. In the scanner class, why we using scanner class? To take input from the user with the help of the input device, we use scanner class, and it is predefined method. One thing we all should remember, whenever you are using any predefined method, you must be import that package first in which this method has been lie. So that's why whenever we are writing user defined program, we are simply importing the package that is called java.util. Alright, because scanner class lies inside the util package. What is the package? Collection of logically related classes or group of logically related classes is known as package, and the name of the package in which scanner class lies is java.util. Please be remember, this is the one of the important question for the MCQ as well as short answer. So java.util containing the scanner class, and scanner class is a class, so we know that each class having a number of methods, because the definition itself says the class is the collection of similar type of data or the methods. Now we are going to discuss about the scanner class. So here the class that allow us to input or read. Input or read means taking data or reading data. Read primitive data types. Primitive data type, what is exactly a data type? A data type will tell the type of the data, that is called data type. Primitive data type. Primitive data types having 8 primitive data types we have. There are few data types has been mentioned: short, int, float, double, long, boolean. Along with that, it is providing the method string as well, because so that is come under the scanner class. It is used to input from the input stream. Alright, so this is the main definition of the scanner class. As I told you, if you want to access the method and the object of that class, you need to be create first the object of that class. So object creation should be there. Object creation. What is the syntax for the object creation? First is class name, followed by object name, then equals to. After that, we use a new keyword. That is the keyword which helps to create the memory for that object. It is also known as to be help to create a dynamic memory initialization after the class name. And if any argument has been passed, it has to be passed here, and we put the semicolon at the end. Here the same thing, because we are using the scanner as a class. So we write the scanner first, followed by the object or the variable name, then equals to new, and then class name, that is scanner. Because we are connecting the keyboard, that's why we are using system.in class. Alright, so example is scanner ob equals to new scanner system.in, or generally you see me to using this syntax: scanner sc equals new scanner, and inside we connect system.in class. So whenever you are using the scanner class in your program, you need to be create the object of that class. After creating that object, what is the object? Here in this example, ob is the object. In the second one, having sc is the object. So whenever we are accessing any of the method, we always use the object. Object will simply call that method. That method is execute as per its definition. So without any further delay, we must discuss some important predefined scanner class method that we are going to be used in the programs. Now the very first function or the method is that is called next short. This next short is useful to store the short value. Although we have been told you that it is a working over the primitive data type. So short, as we all know, short is a primitive data type. For that we are having a method that is called next short. One thing you should remember over here, that next n will remain in the small case, but the short s should be remain in the capital, because it follow the camel case. Camel case always suggests that method name should be started from small letter and there will be no gap between the method name. Alright. So what is the syntax? Simple syntax is that we simply use next short. To accessing any of the method, we must use the scanner class objects. Suppose, because in the previous slide we have seen that we created the object name that was OB. So if you forget about that, I'll simply create the object name scanner OB equals to new scanner, and inside we connect system dot in. That's it. And then after that we give a message to the user that if you want to enter a number, that number, any short number, that is going to be, suppose here we have been declare y as a short variable. So which method we are going to use to store that value, that is called next short, and the result is going to be stored in y only. Alright. Although quite you find little difficulty to understand this concept, I'll make it simple program over here. Alright. Suppose we are taking any of the number to the user. So what we simply do, simply we create with import java.util.asterisk over here. Please be remember, whenever you are using user defined program, you must use the package. Alright. And then class name, main method you need to be designed. Then we create the main method. Main method means public static void main. I'm just writing the one syntax over here. Then we create the scanner class object. Alright, scanner class object we are creating. And after that, with the help of that object, you can simply define y and you give a message to the user. Until you are not going to give a message to the user whatever you are required, then how the user is going to be understand that what is going to be entered in that. So please mention and remember this thing. Whenever you ask something, please be mentioned just before storing that number. Suppose I have been written over here system.out.print and I have given a message over here, enter any 2-digit number. That up to that can be easily stored by the short. Alright. Now this y is going to be stored that ob dot next short. That is the simple one. And this goes for the all the scanner class methods or the function. Now it's time to discuss the next primitive data type we are having over here, that is called int. Int is the one of the important and useful because most of the number program is based on integers and the number. So we remember over here, that is for integer we are having next int. All right. So this is one of the important one. Please be remember this thing. Int means the integer number. for storing any of the integer number, we have a scanner class method, that is nextInt. Alright, there is no gap between next and int, and one thing you should remember, that it doesn't contain any space between next and int, and I always be in capital. So what is the way to access it? Simply with the help of creating the scanner class object, we simply use it. We can take one example over here. Suppose we want to take two number from the user. So what I supposed to? Firstly, I create the object of that scanner class, scanner sc equals new scanner. We pass the value using system.in because we want to connect the keyboard, and then we give a message to the user inside the system.out.print enter two number. If we talking about the two numbers, so we need two variable to store that data. Clear? So I am taking the first integer number, so I'll write int a. So how it is going to be stored that value? With the help of that object of scanner class sc followed by dot, the method which is going to be used nextInt. For the second, int b, because we are asking for the two numbers. Alright, sc equals dot nextInt. Is it clear? I believe the code is clear for the nextInt. Moving on to the next one. Now the long. Long is also a primitive data type. So long always contain what kind of value? Just let me know. It contain integer long digit values. Alright, that is up to 8 to 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, the larger value, larger integer numbers like a phone number, PAN card, account number, these kind of values can be held by the long data type. For that we are having a method next long, where next n will be in small case, long will be in capital case. Alright. I'll give you the example at last. When we completed all the methods, I'll take it one simple code where I call all these values. So that we have been done in just previous method. Same thing can be done over here. Alright. Now, next is we are having next float. So what is next float? Whenever we are going to store any kind of decimal number, we have two methods. One is float, other one is double. So for the float we are having next float as a method. The same way of to use it, simply create the object of that scanner class. This OB is the object. Please make sure that scanner OB equals new scanner, and inside we pass the argument in form of system.in. Alright. With the help of this OB, we calling the method that is called next float. Next is next double. As I told you, to storing any decimal kind of value, we are always having two methods, but the popular one is next double, because when, as we know, sometime we getting a roundup value which is more than 2 to 3 digit after the decimal. So that's why we are using next double. So next double is also being same. It having a method that is called next followed by the double. Clear? Next double is one of them important because we are generally using the double data type in the program. So don't forget about that. Alright. You just simply remember the important functions which we are generally using in the program. Now this is quite interesting one, where we are having the next. So what is the use of next in that? Next is used for which primitive data type? This is the very first question. You can simply see that there is string is mentioned. Is it string is primitive data type? No, it is non-primitive data type. Alright. For the string, we having two different functions. It has next method. The next one is next line. Both the methods are popular. We can't say that we are simply using next. Most of the time we are simply using next line. You can use any of the method, but you should remember, whenever you are using the next line, it store the data and transfer the control into the new line. But whenever we are using the next only, it store the data and cursor remain in the same line. So same way to access it, just simply declare the data type followed by the variable name, which is y over here. How you going to be access it? With the help of creation of scanner class object, which is OB over here. After that, we simply mention next. Next n should be in small case. Alright. So this is the method which we use to store any kind of string type data. The other one is next line. Please be remember, whenever we writing next line, the line L should be remain capital. Next n will be in small case, but the line L will be in capital. Most of the student will forget about that, and this whenever they ask to enter your name, they simply use string A equal to SC dot next int, which is not a correct thing over here. Please be careful, because you are getting the number line by line, means the line of codes are there in the program, and each program contain almost 15 marks. So each line matters a lot over here. You can lose your 1 marks in any of the error where is not required. That is very simple one. Please remember, whenever we are storing any kind of name, any kind of address, any kind of statement, we use string data type. Or if you want to take input from the user, suppose I ask you to enter your name in Java. So which data type you are going to use? You are going to use a string. Which method you are going to be use? You can use any of the method, either next or next line. Clear? You can choose any of the method over here. Now the next function is, that is the little tricky one, that is called to storing any character. What is the difference between string and character? Have been already told. String is a collection of character, and character having a single value. Suppose if I am having a name, I am writing a name of any of the person. Suppose I have been writing Ashish over here. So it is a group of character. What are the characters has been here? A is here, S is here, H is here, I is here. So these are the characters. I am not repeating the character over here. If single value means character, and multiple character values form string. That is the basic difference. Now here, which method is going to be used in scanner class? That is called, for the string we are having next, but we should remember next followed by dot and the caret. Now what exactly this caret? Caret is one of the important function of the string class, alright, which extract the character given at a particular position. So we always remember, whenever we give a data in a string data type, suppose I have been given S string S equals to double quote Ram, that is the name of that person. Now this Ram is going to be stored like this way in string. It simply organize each character in particular index value. Suppose, and always remember, the index value is started from 0, 0, 1, 2. So when we talk about the 0 index value, that means we are talking about beginning of that string character. So as you know, the string Ram is started with capital R, so the position is 0. That is why whenever we are going to store any of the character, we always take the 0 position, 0 index value, because character having only one value and value is always started from 0. That's why we are passing here that is 0 only. Alright, it doesn't matter if you are using next line, no issue. I'll simply use next line followed by this method bracket, then this dot operator. This is important. After that we use char at function, char at, and then pass the index value, because we are having single character, that's why we give 0 over here. So you can simply see over here the result will be stored in char data type. So that's why we are defining the type of that variable. Alright, so we are having two methods. The next one is Boolean. We all know that the Boolean is also a type of primitive data type. For that we also having a method that is called next Boolean. There is no issue in that if we are using all the primitive data type if it is required. So for that we are having next Boolean. Alright, with the help of the don't forget to put the bracket after the method itself containing a method bracket. This round bracket is also known as method bracket. But please be remember, whenever you are going to use the scanner class method or the function, you firstly create the object of that scanner class. If it is available over there, if you forget to create the object of scanner class, you are not going to be use any of the method inside the program. There are other issue. The other thing is that if you forget about the import the package, you can also can't be use it. So two essential things are there. I just give you a quick recap. How many primitive data types we are having? 8. Started with byte. For the byte we are having next byte method. Clear? Then we are having short, that is next short. Now the next is int, for which we are having next int. There is no gap between next and the method name. Then long, next long. The next is float. We are having next float. Please by heart all these methods. Then we are having double. We write next double. For the char, we generally use next bracket dot char at 0. Why we choosing the 0 position? Then Boolean, we are having next Boolean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 primitive data type. And the last is non-primitive one, that is string. For the string we are having next or next line. That's it. Two essential things. First, don't forget to take the package inside the program. Other one, don't forget to create the object of a scanner class, because all these methods can be accessed only when you are going to be create the object of scanner class, and you can call them with the help of that object followed by the dot operator, then method name. So with that note, we are ending a session over here. I believe you have been learn all the important methods which is required for that. So we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you so much.